And we're back. And if you're joining us right now, we're getting our third conversation for this morning started. And as we mentioned a bit earlier, we are going to be learning a bit about the Commonwealth Games and the significance of the Queen's Baton Relay. Joining us for our conversation this morning, we have Giovanni Alamia, who is the Vice President of the Belize Olympic and Commonwealth Games Association. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And thanks for joining us. Definitely appreciate it. Now, let's start by just, for the benefit of some of our viewers who may not be or who may not know that much about it, can you give us a little bit of a background of the Commonwealth Games and what the Commonwealth Games really are?
Well, basically, the easiest comparison would be a miniature Olympics, right? So these games are held for all Commonwealth countries, 72 Commonwealth countries around the world. They're held every 4 years, just like the Olympics. But what the Baton is a little different than, I don't know if you had followed with the torch for the Olympics when it leaves. So the Baton is basically the same thing. It left the UK last year, July. So it's been making its way to all Commonwealth countries. So in March 22nd, it'll land here in Belize, and it departs the 25th to Guyana. So from Guyana, it'll hop along to all the Caribbean countries that are part of the Commonwealth. By middle of May, it'll be in Canada. Mm-hmm. Then from there, it goes across to the Isle of Man and finishing up in Birmingham, England for the Games.
Okay. And how exactly is the baton moved across the country?
Well, we have always been tasked with organizing it. So basically they ask us to do something different, which we have. We have the Mayan temples, we have the Blue Hole, so a lot of different things that we've done in the past. As the board, we have always tried to take it out of Belize City. Mm-hmm. Right? Yes, the first day comes in, we do something, we have the cyclist ride from the airport to Belize City. We have the mayor receive it into the city. So in the past, we've done PG, Dangriga, Orange Walk. Mm-hmm. We did from Hattieville to the youth hostel. So a lot of little things we've always tried to, like I said, get it out of the city. Yeah. So this time what we're doing is, again, with airport to Belize City with the cyclists. Mm-hmm. The mayor will welcome it at the roundabout. Mm-hmm. He will do a small run around the flag monument, mm-hmm. and he'll hand it off to some kids from the Inspiration Center. Mm-hmm. So then those kids would take it to, we're roughly estimating like Social Security office. Okay. Right? And from there, the idea is then to have what people would consider able-bodied athletes. Mm-hmm. They would run it to Marianne Jones. Mm-hmm. We'll have a brief little presentation. Then the following day, we will take it to the Blue Hole. So we've partnered with Audubon Society, mm-hmm. And they're fully on board. And what they will do is they will actually take out some of the sailboats and the Sailing Association, mm-hmm. and we'll fasten the baton onto the sailboat, and the boat will sail inside the Blue Hole around the
Just don't drop it off that.
No, it will be properly strapped on, right? And a lot of photos. Yeah. With some drone footage as well. Then we'll go to Half Moon Key. Photos there as well. I've spoken to Aaron Crone, mm-hmm. and they will be donating
At Half Moon Key.
Yeah, Half Moon Keys. So they'll be donating some seedlings where we will be planting out there, some mangrove seedlings, right? So then we come back to the evening. We go to San Ignacio. So then the morning, 6 o'clock, the plan is to have the Canoe Association, mm-hmm. With about roughly 10 boats. They will fasten the baton to the to the boat, and they will come down from the bridge, the Hawkworth's Bridge, to the wooden bridge. Just back and forth a couple times, changing out paddlers. Okay. Followed by a riverside cleanup between the two bridges. Mm. Right. From there, we go to San Antonich. Where in San Antonich, we've invited the Governor General, the Prime Minister, a couple other ministers. Mm-hmm. We've invited two schools from Sokots, two primary schools from Sokots and one primary school from Benke. Mm-hmm. to bring some of their kids and participate in the relay itself. So it would basically start from the parking lot to the grounds of the Mayan temple, and there we'll have the Pocketuck team put on a little demonstration for the kids, right?
Man, that's quite a tour for a Baton. I got to tell you that much.
Yeah. I mean, it's packed,
Yeah.
right? And we want to showcase what we have in Belize. We have the Blue Hole, what no other country has. We have the Mayan temples, what no other Commonwealth country has. You know, so those are things that we need to showcase, and also we need to get the kids involved.
Yeah.
Right.
And there'll be some running as well. So you'll do some swimming and you'll do some running, at least in Belize City and at the St. Antonich site.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's some running. It's not a race.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, because of COVID, we kind of have to limit the amount of people we get involved. So we've asked all the national federations to send at least 10 people. But we have 18 national federations, so we're looking at least 180 people if they send their 10.
Yeah.
You know, plus the kids from San Ignacio and from Benke and Sokots, we've asked them to one male and one female from each class. You know, because we can't, I mean, it is Women's Month, and we want to encourage women to get involved. You know, we don't want to say, oh, just send anyone, and then most of them are men. No, evenly.
So you're asking for that.
Asking for that
both
one
genders
male.
to be sent. This is interesting. We're seeing some ministers and.
Yeah, so that's
old.
That's old. That's from 4 years ago. That one you just saw was in Orange Walk when we had the mayor at the time, Kevin Bernard, now the minister. He handed it over to. He received it in Orange Walk. He handed it over to Minister Aragon, and then Minister Aragon handed it over to now the Prime Minister, John Briceño.
So for people who are watching, saying, okay, what is the significance of having the Baton here and taking it on this extensive tour around the country?
Well, first off, and I forgot to mention it, the Baton actually has a handwritten message from the Queen inside of it, you know. So, and she writes it, no one knows what she writes.
Oh.
Right?
I was just going to ask you what it says.
And she puts it in there, and they asked us not to open it, right? So they taking it, you know, they trust us that we won't open it. And that's read at the opening ceremonies of the game. You know, so we don't know. I mean, previously it's a lot of motivation, you know. So we don't know what it says, but I mean, most of it is most like a good luck and best wishes and you know, sportsmanship. And it's the main thing is to get the Commonwealth countries and get kids motivated. You know, they really push on getting kids involved in the Baton when it reaches any country. You know, hence the reason why we've reached out to the schools in Sokots and Benke, here in Belize City as well. You know, so it's something that we really want to push.
And it also gives an opportunity to highlight some of the athletes, the cyclists, the canoe, even the Inspiration Center. We have the Special Olympics run that takes place yearly through Stella Maris.
And you know, for the Commonwealth Games, we basically have 3 disciplines that are guaranteed to go every 4 years. So it's cycling, athletics, and triathlon. You know, in the last games in Gold Coast, we had table tennis. Where in table tennis, they had sent, I believe it was 4 kids, but very young. They were between 14 and 17 years old. You know, so that motivated them, and that's what these games are supposed to be. They call it the friendly games. Right? That's what their main team is, the friendly games. And it's basically, I mean, like I can't push it enough. It's to motivate kids to get involved, motivate people to get involved with sports.
And of course, now we're all allowed to play sports. All sports are allowed to be played after 2 years of back and forth and vaccination schedules. So this is really a great time for people to start to develop that interest as well.
Right.
All right, so let's talk dates.
So it arrives the 22nd.
Yes.
They haven't been able to confirm the time yet because of COVID. They haven't been able to confirm that. Arrives the 22nd, the 23rd is Blue Hole, 24th we go out west, and then the 25th it departs to Guyana. Right? So what has happened the previous 2 editions was a team would bring it. So a team would be assigned about 5 or 6 people. They would be assigned for, let's say, 3 weeks, and they would travel with the Baton everywhere. And because of COVID, that they can't do that anymore. So what they have done is they will send one person from Australia with it, and they will hand it over to me, and I'll be in charge of it while it's here. And then one person will take it from Belize to Guyana and officially hand it over.
Okay.
Right. So and the Baton, it has a built-in GPS. It has a built-in 360 camera with whenever the kids are running with it, they can push the button and take photos. It'll come along with a phone as well, so whoever's holding the phone can take pictures of it as well. And those photos will be updated live to Birmingham.
Okay.
And they will be posting it on their social media page.
Right.
And the Belize Olympic and Commonwealth Games Association, we will also have our social media person along and doing everything live.
So that's definitely something to look forward to.
And the ceremony at Marion Jones, is the public invited to
Yes,
go?
everywhere the public is invited.
Okay.
You know, just with the Blue Hole, we're kind of limited with space.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not. Like I said, it's open to everyone. It's not like, oh, just because you're a part of cycling or athletic association or canoe association, you can come.
Yeah.
It's open to anyone.
All right. And where can people get more information?
We have our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram account, Belize Olympic Committee.
Okay.
And everything will be posted there. And again, we will be doing everything live.
Well, it's interesting timing. I think the royal visit is going to wrap up around that time. Then it's on
Right.
to the Queen's Baton.
Right. Yeah, I believe the prince is supposed to leave the same day it arrives.
Okay, good. Maybe he'll get to touch it for a moment. We'll see. But thank you for coming in and telling us about it, so people can plan accordingly, even if they go out to Sinantanich and make a day of it.
Right. Yeah.
And be able to be a part of the commemoration.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me, and I believe the office should be sending a invitation out to the media house to participate, to come out and see what's going on.
All right, we'll have
Love
to
to.
identify our runner. Maybe Gavin will do it.
Or I could do the paddling.
All right, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and take that final break now.
Yeah, and when we come back, we are going to be having Trending Talk Tuesdays, and I'm going to be telling you about what everybody's been talking about on social media. So we'll be having that right after the break, so please stay tuned.